Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. Well, here we are, iPadOS 17, and I want to talk about some of the best new features, some of the biggest features coming to iPadOS 17 now that it's finally here. So let's hop right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is look at our build number here. So this should be the same build number that it's inside of iOS 17. So just keep that in mind. But our build number for iPadOS 17 is 21A329. And now you'll notice it does not actually end in a letter, which means this is the final version of iPadOS 17. Now keep in mind, as of recording this video, I am on the release candidate. So assuming everything stays the same, this will be the full final version coming to everyone. But, keep in mind, it could change. The first thing we're going to do is actually look at our lock screen. So now you'll notice there's kind of some stuff going on. And so let's start from the beginning. So there's different ways you could actually change up the lock screen here. So basically you could go into settings and then go into wallpaper right here. You'll see there's actually kind of a new menu here. So if you give it a second to load there. But anyways, so kind of a new menu here. The way you do, so you can kind of actually scroll between some previously set wallpapers. So these are ones that I've created before, or you can click add new wallpaper. However, honestly, I recommend doing it straight through settings here because it'll just make things a lot easier. And so basically what you'll do is you'll hold down and it will bring you into this little menu. And this is where you'll see all of your previously set wallpapers. You'll notice I have quite a lot of them, but we'll click this plus here and it'll actually bring up this entire menu to where you'll see all of the preset possibilities, right? So down here you have a list of color ones. I will mention that you're not just confined to these specifically. You can click on it and actually change the color down here at this little bottom corner, and you can just sort of change up the gradient. There's a lot that you can really change up here. But we're going to be looking at some other ones here. So we do have color, we have collections. So there's the iPadOS 17 specific wallpaper. There's the hello wallpaper, which we'll get into. I like that one. There's this little landscape looking one. Pretty cool, pretty pretty. And then there's this rainbow one here. Then you have Pride, so there's two different Pride wallpapers. You have some Unity, a good little variety of wallpapers there. You have some emoji ones. A lot of this is the exact same as iOS 16 was when it first came out. So if we wanted to click on let's say we want to make an emoji one. Let's click on one here, just like that. And you'll see this is the fish one. So you can actually change the way these look here. So there's a couple different presets, but I mean, this is where you change the different emojis you want in there. So, pretty cool. Let's get out of here real quick. All right, so we have kaleidoscope. They just look like kaleidoscopes. I do believe these have a fun little animation though. Let's see. All right, so we click on one. It's pretty hard to see here. Let's change the time. Click add, and then it'll actually give you an option here to actually set as wallpaper pair or customize home screen. So if you wanted to blur the home screen, so you can just click here and you'll get options here. You can change the color, the gradient. You can add a different photo for the home screen, or if you click this, it'll actually blur it. I'm going to leave it unblurred for this little demonstration here, but we just select it, and if we go out, you'll see it actually does move, which is awesome. All right, another one that we can look at here is actually the hello wallpaper. So we click on it, and you'll see there's actually a couple different color presets here. Here's this kind of gray simple one: red, orange, yellow, green, teal, blue, indigo, purple, pink, magenta, and rainbow. And so you'll see there's a ton of different presets here. So let's say we want to do this rainbow one here. So we'll just click it, click add. Again, you can kind of change this up the way you want. Just set as wallpaper pair. You'll see this one's kind of fun because when you leave, it'll actually kind of zoom out and do a little fun effect. So yeah, and then I probably should mention too, you can delete them just by swiping up and then clicking delete. So let's show you how to do the widgets because it's pretty cool. So what you can do is you can do this with any of these wallpapers, or you can use your own from photos. So let's use this landscape looking one here. So when you're in the landscape orientation of the iPad, you have this long line right here for the widgets. And so what you'll do is click on it, and you'll see there's a lot of different things. Say we want the calendar, goodness, I don't know, the clock, maybe reminders, just some, you can kind of fill it up all the way until the bottom here. So you just select a few, and then for the clock here, you can click on it, and it will give you like a different menu where you can change the color, change like how hard the color is, I guess is a way of saying it. You can also change the size too, so a lot of different sizes here. And then you can change, like this one you cannot change the size of, but there's other ones that you can. And so it's a pretty cool little thing. Say I wanted maybe like, we want red or orange, that's orange. So it'll change that, and then you click add, and then save or set, whatever, and then it works like that. Now, I should also mention, if we go back into customize here, you'll see it gives you the two options, just kind of how it was earlier. You can change the blur or not. Pretty simple there. But if we click customize and then click lock screen here, you'll see we have these widgets, but if we rotate the iPad, it actually removes the previous section here and actually adds an option for them under the clock. So again, you just click on it, pretty simple here. Again, maybe we want the weather, an alarm clock, and the tips, something like that. And so then if we click done, it will save just like that. And then let's get all the notifications out of the way. But pretty simple, pretty awesome. So when you're in this orientation, you'll see those. When you're in this orientation though, you'll see all of these. So it just kind of depends. And this actually brings me to notifications too. You'll see there are like a lot of notifications here that they do sort of scroll the way they did on iOS 16 when it first came out. And so you can just kind of have them all stacked, and then you can like do that, just get rid of them. Pretty easy, pretty cool, pretty awesome. All right, so let's talk about Stage Manager next, because I think it will be pretty useful to talk about here. So if we, you enable it just like this, you can hold it down and kind of select whether you want like the menu and then the apps or not. I leave both of these off just to have as much screen as possible, but you can just select it, turn it on, and then you're good to go. So let's say we wanted to use Stage Manager. Let's open up our browser here, and you'll see just whatever, like an Apple Watch, whatever here. And then so for those of you who don't know, you can actually adjust the window size by grabbing that and then kind of scrolling. But what's awesome and new about iOS 17 specifically is that there's a lot more preset sizes for each window, and you can now place it anywhere you want. Last time in iPadOS 16, when Stage Manager first came out, there was sort of like a limit to where you could put it. Like if it was a one single app, it had to be in the middle. Now you can just sort of like place it wherever. I mean, obviously it has to stay kind of on the screen, like you can't drag it and then it, it'd be off the screen. But you can kind of place it wherever, right? And so you take your little corner here, you can make it really tiny, like really, really tiny. And then again, just kind of drag it to wherever. So we want it here, or we want it here, wherever it might be. But there's tons of preset sizes, really awesome. Let's drag in maybe like the music app here, kind of drag it right in just like that. And you'll see, again, it just kind of fits really cool. A ton of small sizes. Like this is the smallest here, that's pretty tiny. I can make it long, or it can make it tall, kind of like a middle. And again, you can drag it wherever the heck you want. And it's pretty cool. I mean, I much prefer Stage Manager like this. It just kind of makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to really like use the iPad. It kind of gives off more of like a Mac kind of vibes, And again, just to grab, you can grab the window just like this, or your recent apps just like that. Pretty awesome. I definitely do like Stage Manager more in this version. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is some updates to Safari. So just kind of I'm in the Safari app, just kind of on a random Google search. But basically, so there's you can have Safari profiles, and you can also lock your private browsing. So let's start with Safari profiles, because it's kind of interesting the way you do it. So to create a profile, you don't actually do it through the Safari app. Instead, you'll go into settings here, and then you'll scroll down to Safari, which is somewhere, there it is. And then you'll scroll down here to where it says profiles, or new profile. So you'll click it, and you'll be given a couple options here. So you can name it. So let's name this fun profile. You can change the icon. There's a couple presets here, but if you click this menu here, you can have some other ones. So we'll make this the little painting icon here. And then you can change the color of it. So you can click here, or here, or here, or here for different colors. And then click right here for like more, right? So pretty simple. So we just did that. So then you have the favorites menu, which is right here. You can create folders here. And then right here you have open new tabs on start page, right? Alright. Anyway, so basically now that we've made the profile, we'll click done. And you'll see it is, so you have your personal and then you have the fun, which is kind of default here. You can sort of manage the way these things look. Anyways, done with that. Next thing we'll do is hop into Safari here. And you'll see now in the top you have this new icon show up. So right now we're on personal, you click on it and it'll actually bring up this little menu right here. And you see, like, if we go down to the bottom here, it says profile, click on it, and it'll bring up the fun. So you click on that, and all of a sudden it brings up this little menu here where basically it's just all new fun stuff, you know, a whole new menu just for the one profile you created. So let's hop back into personal here. Now, next, let's talk about how to actually log private browsing. So if we click, just create a new thing here, and then we click this menu here, and then click private, you'll see so the first time I did this, it gave me like a preset option here. That's a terrible way to describe it. Let me put up a picture. So basically it just looked like this. So it's basically it tells you what private browsing is, which we know that. And then it says like what's new in private browsing, so you can actually lock private browsing with either Face ID or Touch ID. You have enhanced extension control, advanced tracking and fingerprint protection, and then search suggestions. And then you have things like, you know, the ability to turn on private relay and stuff like that. But what I do find cool is that you can actually lock this specifically to, like, what am I trying to say? Like, you know, your face or your fingerprint. So you don't want people going through here, just do that and you're good to go. Alright, next topic here is actually Spotlight Search. So that's not new, right? You just swipe down, there you go, Spotlight Search. But what is cool here is you can get a lot more specific with like what you're searching and how these things work. So say for example, if I wanted to say turn off auto brightness inside of settings. Well, instead of going into the settings app and then looking for auto brightness and then doing all that, instead you can literally just search for the auto brightness setting right here. So if we just search for that, auto brightness, you'll see you don't even have to do the whole thing, it just kind of pops up. And it gives you the option right here, you just click on it, and it will instantly bring you straight to the auto brightness option. We can turn that off or on. But yeah, so pretty awesome. But it's just overall, I mean, it's a smarter system. You know, there's a lot more you can search for. And I love that you can search for different things through the iPad like I just demonstrated in settings. But yeah, Spotlight Search, a little nicer, a little easier to use, and a lot more useful. Alright, a whole new app to talk about. So let's talk about the Health app, right? So the Health app is actually new inside of iPadOS 17. You know, we've had it for a while in iOS, but again, it's a brand new app specifically for iPad now. So pretty awesome. Click on it. You know, it's the normal Health app here. Let's go to our main menu. And so this is just kind of our profile. I love this little gradient they got going on up here. Pretty awesome looking. But I mean, it's the Health app, just bigger and more scaled for the iPad specifically. So you'll see, I mean, there's all of this fun stuff, just a bunch of info. You have a pretty menu right over here for, like, say we click on like sleep, for example. Again, just a bunch of details about sleep, just kind of in a bigger sort of format than your iPhone. Pretty cool. I use this app a lot. I like it. All right. Lastly, let's talk about messages. A couple new things here. I'm going to keep the side blurred here just because there's a lot of other people I'm talking to. But a whole bunch of new stuff. So let's start with swipe to reply. So you'll see here if we click on, so this is just a thread with myself, but if we click on like a message here, we can actually swipe and then let go, and it will actually bring up the reply menu. So just a little bit easier to use, instead of having like hold down and then clicking reply. Like that's a lot slower versus just being able to swipe and then select it just like that. And you can do that to your own messages too, just like that. So, I mean, yeah, pretty cool, pretty awesome swipe to reply. So next thing I want to talk about is this little menu here. So you'll notice like all of our old apps for messages are actually gone now, but not completely, right? So you click on this plus here and it actually brings up the entire menu here. And so you'll see there's all your regular apps. You swipe down and then you just get the extras, which are not specifically Apple apps. Pretty cool, you know, pretty simple. I like it. It's a lot more clean, a lot more modern looking. And this also brings us on to stickers right here. So if you click on it, you actually notice you can actually create stickers. So let me go into photos and I'll give you an example. All right, so here's the photo of my dog. So what we'll do is we'll hold down on him just like this to select, and you'll see we can do that. So then so then you'll get this option here and you'll say add sticker. So we'll add it just like that. It'll plop itself in there. And then what we can do is add an effect if we wanted to. So we can do like an outline, kind of make it look more comic-y, I guess. Puffy, or I don't know why it's called puffy, but it basically gives a reflection based on where you're facing. And then shiny. So I'm just leave it original. That's not original, but whatever. Then click done. And then so if we hop back into messages here, you'll see if we click on here and then stickers, there you go. So like you can send it as a sticker or you can like put it on someone's message, you know, the way stickers work. And it has that little effect in there too. But I mean, yeah, that's really about it, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It was a really long one. So I hope, you know, if you made it this far, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, as it helps me out a ton. And I mean, yeah, we're chilling. You know, thanks for watching. If you want to see more coverage, me talk about like the Apple event, some new iPhones and Apple Watches and stuff like that, please let me know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. So yeah, bye guys.